Hey everyone! Well, as you know from watching previous videos, Benji finally has a face-up, which means I can finally do an in-depth character video about him, um, or what I know of his character so far. So I'm just gonna get these glasses off because I can't actually really see the camera or myself. So just wait a moment. And I'm back. Um, yeah, those glasses are really uncomfortable. Okay, so I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, and I may be rambling at points, because Benji's character is still coming to me, though it is getting nailed down a bit more concretely now that he has a face. The paisley vest and the untied tie are staples of Benji's wardrobe, in the sense that his fashion sense is horrible. I've mentioned this at length in a previous video that Benji essentially wears the clothes of the Curiosity Shop that no one else wants. So he'll be wearing like really outdated stuff, and it's all a mismatch of colors and prints, and just like horrible printed shirts. So yeah, Benji has a horrible fashion sense, or he just doesn't really care. And I also mentioned in another video that part of what was inspiring me for his character, was two completely opposite characters from Les Miserables, Enjolras and Grantaire, who are complete opposites. And right now, Benji actually does have aspects of both. More, he has more aspects of Grantaire, but he does still have some elements of Enjolras. So that's coming from that. So Benji is, of course, a nickname. I'm not sure if he's English or French, so I'm not sure if Benji is short for Benjamin or Benjamin. I don't know. But either way, in his own world, he had somehow gotten involved with a political movement, and he was part of a rebellion, and it went wrong. How so, I don't know. But Benji somehow got out of there. But a lot of people he knew didn't. They got thrown to jail, or they got killed, and kind of really soured politics. And the whole idea of trying to change society, really just soured that for him. Benji is a romantic at heart. He's a romantic and he's a dreamer. He paints, but a lot of his paintings were reflections of society or dreaming of a utopian society. So he hasn't really painted much of anything since he was involved in the failed rebellion. Benji is really impulsive. He does things without thinking how someone else is going to react. Good example of that would be the time he cut off his own ear and mailed it to a girl that he was sweet on. He meant it as a declaration of love. She didn't see it that way. She saw it as a death threat. So she contacted the police, and once again, I don't know how, but Benji somehow got his ear back from the evidence, from wherever the police were keeping the evidence. And he was just so embarrassed that he reattached his own ear. Which is... there's the scar. You guys can actually see this wonderful scar. It's a bit brown around his ear because, well, wasn't very hygienic when he was reattaching it. So I mentioned because of the rebellion and that going quite poorly, Benji's gone a lot more cynical about politics. He's kind of gone like, no, like, you know what, we can't change it. It's kind of like, you know, it will always end up defaulting back to a horrible system no matter what is put in place. So, because of that, he's kind of avoids politics. He avoids painting. He still, like, loves painting, but he can't seem to get the inspiration to do it anymore, just because he has lost so much of his drive. But Finn, who is pretty much the only one of my other characters that interacts with him, Finn doesn't see the side of Benji. Finn only sees Benji, like, being funny and telling jokes, and just being, like, this kind of this trickster. So Finn really looks up to him. And Benji actually really likes having Finn's company, just because Finn's a distraction for him. And Benji tells stories and tall tales and does crazy, wacky things because he's trying to essentially have fun in the only way he still can. He finds that the more intellectual things that he used to enjoy now just remind him of bad things that happened or make him feel worse about the world, so he just completely ignores them and just revels in getting drunk and regaling young impressionable Finn with all these wild stories. So Benji's a bit complex like that. I don't know how long he's been at the Curiosity Shop, in part because I don't know precisely how time flows in the Curiosity Shop, but I think Benji's been there for a considerable amount of time. Eventually he survived the rebellion that a number of people he knew didn't. But I think Benji does have a family back where he's from, and they probably think that he's dead, because after the rebellion, he kind of immediately landed in the Curiosity Shop. I'm sorry, I don't know why whenever I go more in depth, it always sounds like all my characters are, like, sad and angsty, except for Flo. Benji is, like, a really fun guy. It's just, you know, he has had some really bad stuff happen to him. I should probably mention I mentioned Finn is one of the only characters that interacts with him, but there is one other. Wait a moment. The other character Benji interacts with, at length, actually, is Emelinda. Because they both work the night shift at the Curiosity Shop. When I say night shift, I mean pretty much the graveyard shift. There's pretty much no one comes in. It's kind of just Emelinda sitting behind the desk and Benji stocking shelves with Finn asking all sorts of questions and asking for stories and that sort of thing. Emelinda knows what Benji's been through. I don't think she was there, but she knows. She's there when he gets so drunk that he just starts talking about everything that's gone on with him. And, like, he'll bring up, you know, the girl he cut off his ear for, and, and his family, and he'll start talking about politics, and he will start mentioning, you know, that he was involved with the rebellion and all of that stuff. Yeah, so Benji's kind of a more complex character than he seems at first. Like I said, the most that I delve into with him, with his interactions with Finn, is that he's a fun-loving guy. But like I said, he's become more cynical. But because he has such a romantic and dreamer side, he gets very passionate about things. Actually, when he gets really, really intoxicated, Finn never sees him get to this point, but Emelinda has seen Benji get so intoxicated that he'll just start ranting about how the system is corrupt and how the people have to rise up against the corrupt system. And Emelinda sometimes reminds him in the morning what he said when he was drunk. And Benji just kind of laughs it off and says, you know, well, like, and you go, oh, well, you know, everyone regresses when they're drunk. Yeah, like, deep down, Benji still wants things to change, but he feels like he can't do anything anymore to help change the system. But there you go. That is Benji with his crazy one raised eyebrow. Haha. Okay. Bye, everyone.